we're getting a lot of conversations in some news outlets that even though Russia seems to have somewhat wandered into Kiev, that actually the resistance that they're facing is a lot better than they thought. And I was wondering, I see on the BBC News article here that some of Ukrainians' most experienced troops are dug in along the line of contact, and because they've been fighting the Russian-backed separatists for the past 8 years. And whilst I'm not suggesting that the underdogs are going to come out victorious on this one, I am interested as to what happens with these battle-hardened Ukrainian soldiers, albeit massively outpowered and outnumbered, who have been fighting for a decade. People who have wanted Russia to take over Ukraine anyway, but not on a Putin, what might have been on a Putin-led expedition, but more under the radar. So they've been doing this for a long time, and now I guess this is their ultimate challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got one word, and it's Afghanistan. The West has consistently not paid as much attention to the fact that when you're fighting people who are defending their homeland, especially in the Russian case, I mean, most of the Russian troops are conscripts. They're they're not volunteers. They're not necessarily battle hardened. Whereas the Ukrainians are fighting for their homeland, and as history showed for over 100 years in Afghanistan, is you can't downplay that. You're on their turf. They have an absolute reason for resisting, and it's never going to be easy. I mean, Afghanistan was known as the graveyard of the West for very good reason. And like you say, even though they're outmanned, outgunned, under-equipped in comparison, they have a reason for fighting. And I think the longer this drags on, I mean, I think various reports I'm reading is that Putin's maybe surprised and disappointed that this has taken as long as it has. He thought it might be over in a couple of days, and that's just not going to be the case. The longer this drags on, the harder it's going to get, because morale in the Russian troops is going to falter. The world is paying more and more attention. I mean, you look at the EU today announcing that for the first time in its history, it's going to purchase and deliver arms to the Ukrainians. I mean, that's just never been done before. It's in many ways, this is an unprecedented situation, but in other ways, historically, again, going back to Afghanistan and the Middle East, this is a mistake that superpowers have made time and time again. Winston Churchill described Afghanistan as the graveyard of the West, nearly 100 years ago.
Yeah, you can probably include Vietnam in there as well for superpowers.
Absolutely, yeah.